Prosecutor in Paris, Francois Molins, he was giving an update on the raids that were carried out in the neighborhood of Saint-Denis, just outside of Paris, yesterday, late evening, early morning today, and updating us on the exact circumstances of those attacks. A couple of interesting nuggets that came out of that, in the sense how the attackers communicated with each other. They used a cell phone, which was ultimately discovered by the police. At one point, while they were at the Bataclan Theater, one of the attackers emailed or texted to another of the attackers, "We are here, it is beginning." Those cell phones were recovered in addition to several vehicles that they used, and one that was actually rented in Belgium and driven to Paris. That was also discovered by the police.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear him recount on that night, on Friday the 13th. He said it was essentially a convoy of vehicles that arrived in Paris from Belgium, and he did talk about that cell phone found in a bin outside the Bataclan Theater, and he said at around 9:42 there was a message on that phone saying, "We are off and we're starting." He said that they're trying to find out, obviously, who the recipient of that message was. But then with respect to the terror raid early this morning in Saint-Denis, he also said that as far as they know, Abaoud and Abdeslam are not among those arrested. So, of course, the forensic work continues. He was talking about some of the challenges they're having because of the stability of that structure. But we know now, essentially, sort of narrowing down where they are in their investigation, and that they are zeroing in on the logistics, the methods in which these terrorists communicated, and how it is that they arrived in Paris to conduct those attacks on Friday the 13th.
Important to note that the French prosecutor said that as far as this cell is concerned, they have been neutralized. We have our correspondent, Jeff Pegues. He's going to join us now to talk about the findings of the French prosecutor. Jeff, your take on this?
Well, I was struck by how detailed he was. He really laid out what they've been doing over the last several days since the attacks on Friday the 13th in Paris. And so he provided a lot of detail about the ammunition, the type of, and the amount of ammunition and weapons that the attackers had in this operation. Hundreds of guns is what he said. Then, of course, the suicide belts. But he also talked about the process of investigating these attacks and what we've seen unfold over the last several days, how they are going back, tracing the steps, if you will, of the attackers leading up to the attack, trying to see who they interacted with, trying to get some of their cell phones, computers, things like that, because every little piece of information is a piece of this puzzle that gets them closer to the two people that they're after right now. And this was interesting as well. He referred to Abaoud as the ringleader of ISIS in Europe. I think that was the term that he used, Abdelhamid Abaoud. He called him the ringleader of ISIS in Europe. So he is still out there, according to the prosecutor, but so is the other man that they're looking for, Salah Abdeslam. So they're looking for these two ISIS operatives, according to the prosecutor there. But this is the man suspected to be the ringleader. So the heat is on investigators trying to track him down. You may remember that there was some thought originally that he had gone back to Syria. But now they believe that he is somewhere in Europe, and they're trying to track him down. But they're also trying to ID the people who were killed in this operation overnight as well.